right, and I'm going to share my screen and get to this PowerPoint that I'm going to use for us.
To start where you are and go check that.
Okay, and if there's a lot of background noise where you're at, if you could mute yourself, that would be good. I don't want to mute everyone because this is going to be definitely a discussion that we have and we talk about. So I want us to all be able to hear each other, but there is quite a bit of background in someone's, there we go. Okay, great. So today, and because we're coming up on the month of January and New Year's resolutions, I know we all want to like stick our finger down our throat when we hear New Year's resolutions. And yet I do find myself at this time of year really reflecting and thinking back and wanting to move forward stronger. And I tell my kids all the time, I don't want to be the same person next year that I am today. I want to have grown and developed new skills and met new people and read books and have my, mindset of changed in ways. I want to be growing and doing and involved in different things and to just make an even bigger impact than I have before. And so it's something I really encourage them to do as well. And that's what I want to focus on today with you guys. And let's just start brainstorming, just start talking about, what are we doing as we're not just setting New Year's resolutions, but like, where do we want to be a year from now? And then how do we get there? And I'm going to share some things that I do personally each year at this time to kind of get my mind going in the right direction so that come January, I don't start January 1st and like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like I've already seriously put some legwork into it this next couple of weeks. That when January hits, I've already got things on the book, my mindset's there, and I'm ready to go. And I know that makes for a much stronger January and December business months, but it really shapes and affects my whole year. It really does. So just a little bit of time and effort, and I'm going to give you guys some resources to be able to do that, can make a really big impact. So when we're talking about dreaming big, setting goals, and being intentional, like what does that look like? What would I mean by those things? And what we're going to look at here in dreaming. So when we're dreaming big, what are some things that we have personally done, each of us? And here's just some ideas that I had. And then I want to open it up to you guys. Some dreams that, and what I would like to focus on today is dreams that we have had in the past, maybe things and goals that we set in the past, and then that we saw because of our Juice Plus business, it came to fruition. And I know you guys have some amazing ones too. And probably if I could have sat down with you, I could jog your memory and help you remember what that is. So some of it may be because you have better health, and some of it may be because now you have income and ability to do that. So just for myself, I always wanted to be able to put our kids in a private school when we lived in Alabama because the public schools were huge there. Like there were 1,200 freshman students alone in the high school that was there. 1,200 students. There was one high school in that town. It was way too big. And they just didn't get the individual care that I knew, and I had too many friends that just had issues there. So I wanted to be able to put them in a private school that I wanted them at. And that's one of my big goals I had with Juice Plus, is that I would have enough money in my Juice Plus paycheck that I would be able to pay for theirs. Another one was paying for a mortgage. When we lived in New Mexico the first time, and Jarrett's internet business crashed, and I remember him saying, we may have to foreclose on this house. And I was like, no, this is our house. No way. I'll pay this mortgage. It was $2,000 a month, and I was only making about $750 at that point. By the time we moved away, I was paying for that mortgage. I was paying for it. And we've never had to, we didn't have to foreclose on that house. We still have it as a rental house. We would love to sell it, but it hasn't been this huge it didn't make us go under because I was able to build the income to be able to pay for it. So that's just two things that came to my mind when I was thinking about dreaming big, and that my Juice Plus business has been able to help us. I know I specifically talked with Gloria about it. So Gloria, I'm going to let you talk because I know you have to go fairly soon. So can you share some ways that you've been able to dream big because of your Juice Plus business?
Yes, thank you, Stacy. We talked about this a little bit, and you jogged my memory on some of the things that happened. But I started most of you know, I started a little over 10 years, about 10 and a half years ago with Juice Plus, and really had no goals or no thoughts about finances. The only thing was health, and that is huge. It's been a huge help with my family's health and my health. But one of the things that as I got into Juice Plus in about 2 years, my husband's, this is very similar. We have a somewhat of a depressed economy starting at about 8 years ago or so. And it started with Mike having to find a job because everything was starting to close down around here. And that made for a lot of nervous moments, thinking, wow, what's he going to do? And so he found, he's now basically an inspector for different oil field jobs. And so he right now is out for the last, probably 6 years. He's been on the road, five to 6 years. And at one point, I thought, I do not want him staying in all the different hotels, and I thought that's just not a pleasant life for him. So one of the things that my goal was to get him an RV that was nice, like a home, and because of my Juice Plus, we were able to do that. That was really an incredible thing, and get it paid off within a year. That was huge for both of us. And that was a dream, to have a nice place for him and a nice place for me to go when I go visit him. So that started, several dreams for us. What my income has done has bridged the gap for our income. So not only are we bridging the gap for our health, we're bridging the gap for our income. Last year alone, this has been an up and down thing. He was off a total of 5 months within 1 year. And my income really was crucial to, everything that we did. So that was, Stacy had mentioned that the other day, and I had, kind of put that in the back of my mind. But now, he thanks me all the time. He tells all the guys on the job, my wife did this for me on my birthday and got it paid off on my next birthday. And she had it delivered to me. He was in Texas at the time. And that just meant so much to him. I also wanted to mention the fact that, people may think, wow, I don't, make a lot, with Juice Plus. I look at it as an income that every bit of money that you make adds into it. And I'm trying to get to this one site. Dr. Arbach was here, and this made so much sense to me because I remember my first check being something like $36 and not very much. And I thought, well, that's okay, because if I look at $36 off of what I pay for Juice Plus, I had never had that much of a deduction off of anything I've bought. But when he brought up the fact that just if you're making, let's say $100 a month, he pointed out that you would have to have $24,000 in the bank at 5% interest. That's quite a bit of money. Most people don't have $24,000 in the bank. If you're making $200, when you get to that point, you'd have to have $48,000. And he went on down the list to make $1,000 a month. We call that the comma club. You'd have to have $240,000 in the bank. And I know for me, we don't have that much money in the bank, cash, that we can just pull on. So pull out of the bank for different things. this has been an incredible adventure for us. My husband, when I told him my check last month, he, money speaks to a man, and he's going, wow, really? And so he's teasing me and saying, when can I drive the limo for you? So, but that's really, and then the deductions. I am, as we speak today, or I finally have to give in. My computer's just about gone. I'm getting an Apple computer.
Yay!
Hey, I know.
I can help you with it now.
Oh, I hope so, because I've told Cindy she's got one. I said, I've got to have some help. But thinking about it at the end of the year, those are deductions. That's another huge thing with our business. You can deduct just about every trip if you'll just make the effort to do something with Juice Plus while you're on the trip. So you can actually show that you're, not making a whole lot of money because you're enjoying trips, but you're deducting them as well. So my computer is going to be a big deduction. That'll be really nice. And I think that is it. And our goal, oh my gosh, our goal for this year at 2018, we're shooting for 10 months or so, and we'll be debt free. That's another big thing. Yeah.
Wow.
That's huge.
That's bring daddy home goals.
Yes, we've talked about it. He'll love it.
Awesome.
Absolutely, yes. So thank you, Stacy.
Well, thank you, Gloria. There's so many things. And I remember when you got that RV and you picked it out and then you had it delivered and he was so surprised you knew nothing about it. That was really cool. I know Linda helped you with that too.
Yes, Linda helped me decorate, get it all fixed up, all the kitchen tools, everything he needed. He was so surprised.
That's so fun.
It's fun when you spend someone else's money.
Yes, Linda did too. Oh my gosh.
And I'm really good at that if anyone needs help with that. Okay, this is just round robin. If you muted yourself and you want to talk, unmute. But I want to know from you guys, what goals have you set with Juice Plus, or things that this business has helped you to accomplish?
I think for us, a lot of it is, as far as the business goes, not feeling so tight from paycheck to paycheck, which is a big deal. It helped us a lot. We've been able to go on more vacations, which I love that. Just feeling like we have more room to breathe. I still want to make enough so that Lee can come home. So that's always my big why. I love being able to stay home and be available for my grandbaby, and it just gives you more freedom.
Yeah, that's good. And you've been able to go on a mission trip?
Yeah.
Right?
Kelsey and I got to go to Africa, and and I would love to do another mission trip. I would really like to go back. We've been able to go. We went to Belize, gone to Hawaii, so it's just fun, to get to. And what's neat is that occasional time when somebody needs help and a family needs help, and you don't, you feel like, I can actually help them a little bit. I don't have to say no to that, so that's a huge blessing too.
I think what you just clicked on, being able to say yes and not having to say no. There was a time where I felt like I was the no mama to everything. No. And now my kids would still say, go ask Dad. He's more likely to say yes. But I can say yes to experiences. And my kids know I'm not going to say yes to things. Probably if it's clothes, I will say yes, but not things, but I will say yes to experiences. And Ansley's school here in New Mexico, they have the 8th graders, they go to DC on a trip, and they, so Colin did that in Alabama. It was $900 for him and $900 for me. We rode on a bus for 12 hours, which actually wasn't so bad. But, okay, $900. Here in New Mexico, it's $2,600 for her and $2,900 for me. Like,
Oh,
what? That was like, are you serious? Why so much? But I knew, like, that's a time that I loved spending that time with Colin, and he's really into history. All of our kids are, because Jarrett really is too. And so I was like, we're not going to regret that time that I get to spend with her. But I was like, I got to pay for that. I got to pay for that in cash, and it has to be paid off by March. And so, like, we set our minds to it, but I knew I needed to increase my Juice Plus check by a certain amount that I could pay the monthly payment for hers and mine. And I did it. And we'll have that paid off next month. And we paid cash for it. Like, we didn't have to put it on a card, to not have to use credit cards ever, and just to be able to pay cash. It's been amazing. And we sold nativities, and we've done other things to raise the money. But we did that. Like, we set a goal, and we have that, and intentionally we've done it. So that's even just something recently. Joni, I saw you on here. Can you talk at all?
Who are you talking to?
Oh, sorry. I forgot. There's two Jonies. Joni, go.
Yeah, I just woke up, so I'm a little sleepyhead, but
well, okay, I thought of something. So you tell us if you were thinking of something, and then I'll remind you of this one if you don't cover it.
Well, what I was thinking of offhand, just listening to you guys share, is for me, I literally transitioned from a military career to staying home with my babies. I had a 1 and 2-year-old. And so I feel like I never went through that time of kind of losing my purpose and my identity other than just being a mom and a wife. I hear a lot of women talk about having to ask their husbands for money. Maybe it's a pride thing for me, but just to have that ability to know that if, I want extra money for something, that I can make that myself, and that I have this business that I can lean back on. And so I think it kept me empowered as a woman.
I do love that, Joni. And tell us about your vacation, what you guys did with that, with the timeshare.
I was going to say which one. Like Linda said, vacations. Yeah, so March will be 3 years ago that I made senior, and I just kind of knew in my spirit, spiritually, that it was time. Like, I had been a sales coordinator for 8 years, I think, because yesterday was my 12 years with this company, the 12th anniversary. It's exciting.
Happy
And to think that it's so close to Christmas. I remember, I'm kind of getting off a little bit, but I remember, Stacy, when we talked about it, the timing was right. So I think in my mind, there was never the idea of, oh my gosh, I can't do this because it's Christmas time. It's like you saw a need. And so that's really helped me now with my own business, and listening to people talk about the holidays. And, I feel like when the timing's right, it all kind of falls into place. And so with that said, saying yes to this, I had no idea it was an amazing business, but watching you grow, Stacy, and watching you take control of your life, and then really having to step up and save your home. I think sometimes if I had a big situation like that, maybe I would be motivated a little bit more to make more money, but it was really never about the money with me or for me, but having the money definitely given me a lot more options that I would have never had. And my kids, I don't ever want them to be entitled, but they're pretty darn blessed, and so on top of like kind of the need things as far as my kids' education, and be able to homeschool them for 4 years, and having that flexibility and being able to travel and, going and staying with a friend for 5 weeks, like who gets to do that, especially when their husband's deployed. Like most wives, military wives, they're working. They're trying to work and take care of the family. And here I am with this amazing freedom and flexibility, which because we love to travel, we did invest in a timeshare. We went to Disney and literally bought this timeshare and invested in memories and we didn't really even know what we were doing, but we knew that we would be able to have a higher, I guess, quality vacation, go to 5-star hotels. Like, you know, at one point it's like you're trying to stay maybe 1 night, 2 night, and then it turns into 5 nights, and then maybe a week that you can go on vacation. Like, that's amazing. And so we bought it. And it was my gift to myself for making senior. And then literally it was like a couple weeks later when I made it, I had not even made it yet. And I remember the drive there, working my butt off, you know, like knowing this has got to happen. We're going on vacation, but we're going to like Disney World, the most magical place, you know? So is that where you want me to share?
Yes. Yep. That's exactly it. And you guys paid that off, you know, pretty darn quick.
Yes. And being debt free. Yeah. Tim will be home in about 6 weeks. In March, we will completely be debt free other than our house.
Yeah.
So that's exciting because we have our Juice Plus money,
Right.
you know? When we aren't traveling and we do want to put money on debt and we do want to save money, then we have that ability too. So I get to do what I want to with it. That's the exciting part.
Yeah, to be able to pay off cars. We paid off Jarrett's car. I think it was a 4-year loan, and we had it paid off in less than 2 years because we set our minds to it. I don't like bills. I don't like having to make payments on stuff. When we bought our vehicle this time, for me, the minivan that we bought, we paid cash for it. Like, to pay cash for vehicles, guys, like, it's awesome. And to not have that hanging over your head, a bill later on. So, yeah, that was awesome. Okay, anyone else?
I'll share.
Okay, go ahead.
I did not see this as a business when I first started. I was just trying to offset my cost, and since then, it's been about 1.5 years, and I've seen a lot of growth in me. I've seen a lot of opportunities. Like, I have the vision, like, we can make this anything we want, and we have a big year coming up. So you know, there's a lot of things that we want to do, and I feel like we're in a pretty good financial situation anyways, but this just gives us so many more opportunities. You know, we can do whatever we want, and that's a pretty good feeling. So
Yeah. Hey, congratulations, Jen.
Yay!
When did he ask you?
Congratulations.
it was on Wednesday at the top of the mountain when we were skiing. It was almost,
Oh,
Yay, Jennifer!
that's a
That's why I
big
got
deal.
my butt off, because I want, you know, we don't want a big wedding or anything, but, you know, it's just more and more financial freedom.
Yes.
As long as we're all invited, that's all that matters.
Yeah. You don't have to have a big
Guys
one.
can
Just big enough for us.
Go with the,
That's awesome. And how smart to be starting out that way with that mindset versus the typical, oh, just put it on the card, rack it up, and then we'll pay it off later. And to start strong now, that's amazing. So congratulations, Jen.
you.
That's so exciting. Okay, anyone else?
I'll share.
Okay, go ahead.
For me, allowed me not have to go back to teaching, and just that flexibility and freedom. My children chose to live on either coast of the United States. I have one in Oregon and one in New Jersey. So it's so nice. If I want to go see them, I go. And I can do that. I feel like I can say, like you said, Stacy, say yes. I can say yes. I'm going to go, and I love that. You know, because I can do what I do no matter where I go. I've talked to people on airplanes. I've even gotten a few orders, you know, that way, and I can just do as I go, and it allows me that flexibility and freedom that I really wanted, and I don't feel like I need to go back to teaching. I see a future with this. I don't see this something that I'm going to go to a certain point and stop doing it. I just see it carrying us through. And as Shane looks at retiring here in 4 or 5 years, I see this as our mad money, you know. And my dream is to be able to do yearly vacations with the entire family and being able to pay for it. So all they have to do is figure out how to get there. And and just because family's everything to me, and so that's what it allows for me.
That's awesome. And I know this sounds crazy, but even from the beginning with this business, I thought this could allow me someday in the future, like I really thought someday in the future, one, to have insurance for our family, and two, it would give us some retirement money, that residual income, because I was just learning what that meant. And even thinking, I want to be able to travel and go see my grandkids. And that meant something to me at that time, because we always lived away from family when our kids were little. And our parents came in every once in a while. Both sets of our parents had their own businesses. So it was weird because I knew entrepreneur-wise that has always been something Jarrett and I have been open to, but yet we saw it control their lives too. You know, to be able to have a business of your own and the freedom is like, it's like the best of both worlds. So Jarrett's mom was a counselor, and at the beginning she couldn't come because she didn't have enough clients and she didn't have the income. But then once she got the income, that meant she had too many clients and didn't have the time off. So she doesn't know our kids. She doesn't know them. They don't know her. They see her maybe one time a year for a weekend. I don't want that. I want to know my grandkids. I want to be at their school play. I want to be involved in their lives. I want to know them. And if, you know, we've taught our kids to move across the country, I seriously doubt they're going to stay put in one place. I want to be able to go to them and to go do it. And it's so cool to hear Ansley and Brielle as they're starting to talk about what they want to do in life. And they know they want to be moms and to be able to be home with their kids. And they, you know, just toss around different ideas. And a lot of times it comes back, well, Mom, could I do this with you? Could I do Juice Plus with you? Ansley will sit in here and listen to presentations that I do. It's like she wants to learn the information so that she can start it. Brielle and I were sitting talking last night, and she was talking about a couple of her friends at school that she was helping with their health, and she was giving them health tips. And so it's like, you know, I don't know if they're going to choose to do this or not, but the possibilities of that someday not only will I have the freedom and time, you know, an ability to go see them, but that we would have a life connection, that's something that keeps us connected and talking and communicating and working together, a common goal. Like, that's an awesome thing. I would love that. I would really, really love that. So, you know, really thinking future, think big, think way far in the future. What do you want this to be? And Gloria set out some really staggering numbers of how much money you would have to have in the bank in reserve to pull out the interest in that and live off of. And I just want to encourage us again. I know we've talked about it, but, you know, the 80% of women are going to be financially responsible for themselves at some point in their lives. 80%. You know, we typically do live longer than our husbands do. And if that's the case, I don't want to not have options and to not be in the nursing home living facility that I want to be in, but have to be living with my kids because there's not enough money to put me, you know, in some place, or, you know, whatever it is. Like, it seems hard to even think about those things, but we need to think about things. That's where being intentional really comes in. And I'll open it up at the end again for if anyone wants to share some of their goals. But I want to share with you some of the things that I do to be intentional, because if you guys haven't noticed, days go by, okay, with all the best intentions of doing something. Okay, I'm gonna work more on this. I'm gonna get more serious about this. I'm gonna be more, you know, I'm gonna build this stronger. And then a day slips by, 2 days, 3 days, it's a week. Okay, next week, and then it's 2 weeks. Now it's a month later. 12 months goes by and it's a year. A little bit of time every once in a while into your business will help you pay, you know, for your Juice Plus. But if you really want to dream bigger and have goals, like specific goals that have an end date, that have an amount, that have details with it, it takes serious intention to be able to do that. And I have done that, serious intention, and I know you guys have too. So here's what we're going to talk about today that I personally have done. So I'm going to talk about 3 different things. One word, vision boards, and my intent. Okay, so I'm going to explain what those each of those are here. So one word that will change your life. You guys have heard me talk about this book, and I cannot find my book. I think we took it to Ruidoso a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't find it. So I downloaded it on Audible yesterday, and I started listening to it after I dropped the kids off at school. Well, I found myself just like driving around town for like an hour, not even paying attention to what road I was on or anything, because I was listening to it. And I listened to 6 chapters in an hour, and I think there's like 10 chapters in the whole book. So it goes really quick. So don't feel like if you buy the book or if you listen to it that it's going to be, a month to read the book. It does go really fast. But one word that will change your life, really this book explains how to simplify your life and business by focusing on just one word for the entire year. The simplicity of choosing one word makes it a catalyst for life change. Clutter and complexity lead to procrastination and paralysis, while simplicity and focus lead to success and clarity. I think all of us would say, I don't want procrastination, I don't want paralysis. I would like success and clarity of what I'm doing and where I'm going. Your one word will impact the 6 dimensions of your life: mental, physical, emotional, relational, spiritual, and financial, which is hard to think that one word would be able to sum up all of those things. And yet I have done this for years now at a time, and it really has helped me. So in this book, it helps you find what that word is, and it really walks you through the process of that. So one that has like a 3-step process in the book that talks about looking in. So preparing your heart and really praying and asking God to give you a word, not just that you make up the word yourself, but really thinking a whole lot deeper and knowing that He has a direction for your life. He has a purpose for you to fulfill this next year. What is that? Why wouldn't we want to tap in to what He's already got in place, versus going off on our own? So really praying and asking Him to do this. And then discovering your word is looking up, again, asking for help and ideas, and talking to other people, they call it a Dutch group with other people that you're doing the same thing. So with us as a team, and then looking out and actually living your word from a day to day. So I usually this time of year we're traveling, typically driving back or driving to New Mexico for Christmas, and then after Christmas we drive back home. Well, back to Alabama. That's like 19, 20 hours of driving. So I would have that book and I would read through it each time, and I would really start just writing down different things. And I'm going to give you guys some resources to be able to walk through and find what your word is, and just really start thinking about it and praying that God, I don't want this just to be my word. I want this to be your word, something that's really going to be impactful for me this year. So then you start thinking, okay, what's going to be happening this year? What do I want to happen? What did I not like about last year? What do I not want to repeat? And just really deeper reflection. And when I think about how I got each of the words for the last 5 years, it's just been interesting how it's come about. Well, I'll go through this. Steps of finding out what that word is. So step 1 is to take a few minutes to sum up what you want in one paragraph. It's 5 sentences total. You want to make it personal and specific and important. And I've got this written down for you guys. Step 2 is to take that paragraph and reduce it to 1 sentence that sums up what you want to achieve. So you go from a paragraph to a sentence to a word. Okay, and that's going to help you narrow that down too. Like I said, I would just start writing things down, and then once you start getting it out in your head, different areas that you want to see. So I would ask myself, okay, what do I want to see in my spiritual growth this year? What do I want to see with my family's growth this year? What do I want to see with my own personal? What about with my business? It's not just one area. You're looking for the common thread in all of the areas, one word that's going to encompass all of that and help you through it. So these are some rocks that I have. Typically in January, there's a boot camp in Atlanta, and it's Peachtree City Boot Camp. And Amy Gett's sister would bring these rocks, and then you write down your word on there. So the first year that she did it was 2015, but I had a word in 2013. Oh no, the first year was 2014. So I had a year for 2013 that was here, being present, be here. And then 2014 was solutions. And like I'll kind of walk you through how I came about those words so that you get an idea. 2013 was when we were adopting our girls, and we were in Ukraine in January. And I was just thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to, I was feeling overwhelmed with how do I connect with them? How do I give them the care that they're going to need? And my husband, the attention he's going to need. And we get home, my kids, and reconnecting with them and helping all of us come together as a family unit and figuring out just the day-to-day life. And my business, I really wanted to keep moving forward with my business, and I was just like, how am I going to do that? How do I do that? And I was praying for God to give me that word. I was reading that book. I was really thinking about it a lot, and there was a moment where Jarrett and I were together, and I was off thinking somewhere else, and the word just very quickly came to me, Stacy, be here. Be here. And not be present, but be here, like be in this moment. And I realized that's it. Like, that's my word. Like, I have to remind myself, be here. If I was going to be with my kids, then I needed to be with them and enjoy that time with them, not worried about the laundry or my business or whatever, but to be able to compartmentalize it because I had so many different areas I was stressing about, to really give myself permission to be in that moment. So that was that word over and over again that year. That's what I was finding myself, reminding myself, okay, just be here. It's okay. And it would give me permission to really connect at that time. So next year was solutions, and that's when the girls were living with us, and we were just spiraling out of control by then. That was January, and they moved out in February. But my word for that year was solutions. Like, we cannot keep going through the same problems expecting somehow different results are going to happen. We need to find solutions to different areas, solutions to business, solutions to many different areas. I needed help with that, and we needed to stop the dysfunction, and we needed to continue in other areas that were functioning well, but really finding solutions. And that was finding solutions for you guys as a team. That's when the JP, or let's see, what was that website that was lost? And we started doing more on social media. And this is where the JP startup started at that time, finding solutions for us as a team. It really encompassed many different areas of my life. And that word would just direct me, okay, I can be stressed about this, or I can find a solution. What's the solution to this problem? And then I would find I was much more strong, going forward. 2015 was just a year of a lot of heartache for us as we recovered from the last 2 years of what that had brought into our family's life. I questioned everything about myself that year. I was questioning what happened, how did this happen, what did I do wrong? I still wanted to really keep moving forward business-wise, but it was really to accept what had happened and not keep questioning it and spinning in that dysfunctional cycle that was really holding me back. So being able to accept that. 2016 was engaging, like really engaging, with my team and with our church, and engaging in the community. It shaped the things I said yes to and the things I said no to. That was a big one for us. And then 2017 was forward. And I cannot tell you guys how much that word has helped me this year, and we were driving back to Alabama, and I was just like, I don't know, like, I have been praying, I've been thinking, I've written down all these words, but nothing was really strongly, coming to me that that's what it was. And my concern was, in moving, I didn't want to lose business. I didn't want to lose the momentum we had team. I didn't want to slide back. And so I was like, what is this? What is it that I want? Well, this truck passed by. It was a semi, and it had the word forward on it. And it was like, just instantly I saw it and I was like, yes, that's it. That totally encompasses, I want to move forward. And so this year, as we were moving, I could say, oh, I've got so much to do. I've got to pack. No, I am moving forward. I still need to move forward here. I cannot slip back. What can I do today, even though I'm packing, to still move forward with my business? And I would do something else. And then even once we moved here, it was easy to say, well, I don't know anybody here. I don't have anyone to talk to. And I would see that rock and it says forward. And I would be like, no, get out, go talk to someone, go downtown and have a cup of coffee and see if you can engage with someone. What it shaped the things, again, that I'm saying yes to and the things that I'm saying no to, because is this something that's going to help me move forward? Is this book something that's going to help me move forward in my, life and my business? All these different areas. So those are my words for the last 5 years and how they've really shaped and influenced me. So I hope that gives you an idea of what the impact of one word would be. And you can see that having it in front of you and having it in places that you see a lot can really be helpful, because if you just pick one word and then you don't see it ever again, it's not quite the same. So the picture of the screenshot of my phone, that's what my background is. That's what it looks like. And I made it to where the word is there at the bottom and the arrow. So I don't have any, I wanted that space there so that I could see the word, not just the whole screen and not be able to see it. So every time I turn on my phone, I see that word forward. And that has really helped me, having the rock sitting there that was sitting by our bed, that has definitely helped. And then a vision board makes a big difference too. So if you guys have never done a vision board, I know it seems like hokey pokey and this is just silly and who really wants to take the time to do it, but it's so fun. Like, get a group of you guys together in January and make a vision board. So it's after you've already figured out what your word is, and then you can use that on your vision board. But it's really a deeply powerful and creative way to help you achieve clarity to your biggest questions surrounding career, business, relationships, and personal projects. When you surround yourself with images of who you want to become, what you want to have, where you want to live, or where you want to vacation, your life changes to match those images and those desires. Our busyness and our conscious mind will make us forget what that is. Our subconscious still has that, and those goals are still in there. But just because of busyness of life, without that visual of being able to see that and remind us, we just let those things slide. And then next year we're like, oh, I wish I would have, versus I'm celebrating that I did. That's what we want at the end of the year, to be celebrating what we've done, not wishing we had. There's just a very different power of, energy that comes from that mindset. So here's an idea of what it looks like. So this was mine from last year. I had the word forward, and it actually survived the move. I don't know what happened to my other boards. I had them, but I probably, in my frenzy of throwing everything away, chunked them. But forward survived. So I have that sitting here at my desk, and it's just about like a paper board about this big. I knew I would never hang up something really big and bright pink, and if it was too gaudy, I just would think, it's too cluttery, and I wouldn't like it. So another idea is to do a smaller one, which this is one year that I did, and this is before we picked our one word, but it's in a little picture frame, and it sits here beside on the shelf. Jarrett and I did one time in a picture frame, and it had 4 different little windows in the frame, and we picked 4 areas of life that we wanted to see changes in, and we came up with pictures and things like that. And I remember us going to breakfast up in Durango, and we spent the weekend, and it was just a really neat time to connect as a couple. So those are 2 ideas of boards. I know some of you have done those before, and we'll open it at the end if you want to share what you've done. But a vision board is really important to keep the visual there. So the next thing I want to share with you is something called myintent.com. And it's the same thing, picking one word but it's another way to have this word visible to you. So this is something I looked at a couple of years ago and totally forgot about, and then thanks to Facebook ads, it showed up again on my wall, and I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to see that. I wanted to do that. So myintent.com is really kind of the same concept of discovering what your word is. But I bought this kit, and I'm so excited about this to be able to do for you guys too. It's a kit that you stamp your word. Once you guys find that word and you've really thought it through and we've talked about it, then I will make you a bracelet. I'll make you the coin, and I have the stuff to either make a bracelet or a necklace, and then I will send that to you. So it's been something I've wanted to do for a while, and I've forgotten about it, but something that you can wear, that you have that with you, and don't think that that's not going to start conversations, right? To have that there. So these are just some different ideas. This is what it looks like, and I've got the cord to be able to make some necklaces and bracelets with that. So once you've really thought this through, worked through the process, to give you an idea, last night I was talking with Brielle about her one word, because we try to do this with them each year. She said, I want breathe. And I said, okay, tell me, why does breathe? Why do you like that? And she's like, I just like the word. I just think it's pretty, and it sounds good. And I was like, well, it is a pretty word, but what does it mean to you? And then she was like, no, I think I want influence. And so then I said, okay. So we started talking it through. Well, I had her start writing it down, like, what does she want to see in these different areas of her life? And we came up with like 3 or 4 words that she's like, there's too many words, I don't know. And we were looking up the definition and the thesaurus. And so I said, it's not about picking a word at one point. You talk about it, you think about it, you pray about it, and then ask God to help you find what is that word for you. And then we'll talk about it later. So she has a paper now that has all of those thoughts written down on it. And this is a process. And I want to encourage you guys to go through the process. Trust the process to help you find what that word is. And this is just an example of some possible words. You can look them up online if you're looking for ideas. But once we had that paragraph written for her, then I said, okay, I'm going to read these words, and let's think about, do any of these words encompass what you've just been talking about? And so through this list, we found like 4 of them, and then we narrowed it down. We found 6 of them. We narrowed it down to 3, and then from there, I'll just give her some time to think about it. But this is just a list to get you thinking once you've already done the legwork before. Okay, so now what do you do? How do you go about doing this? Well, I put all of the resources on our jpstartup.com website. So the first one is dreaming big, and that's really going to come from your why. If you guys have not filled out those why sheets that are on the setup page, you're really missing out on a powerful, impactful, activity, I guess I would say, that can help move you forward in a big way. So discovering your why is going to help you discover the bigger dreams that you have. That's what those questions are. And if you need something to help walk you through that, which I know I always do, something to get me thinking, that's an excellent one. So all of these are on jpstartup.com. Setting goals. The next one is 7 Steps to Extraordinary New Year, and it's a thick worksheet. It's 7 different sheets, but there's plenty of room I put in here for you guys to write down what you want to put in those spaces. I don't even know where this came from, but it was something that is specifically tailored to our business. I think it was something that was passed along to me a couple of years ago, and something that I used last year to fill out. And it's fun to look back at these papers year after year and see what you've accomplished. But that's what this is. Like I said, it is 7 steps, so it's like 7 pages. And you can take the time to fill that out. And then being intentional of discovering your one word, I definitely encourage you to get the book, read the book, and then to help you find what that one word is. And then also there's this that says 3 easy steps to find your one word for 2017. And the DMO and discovering your word and the goal setting is all on the plan in the plan page of jpstartup.com, and there at the bottom, it's 2 buttons that say your one word, and then goal setting, I think is what the other one says. And then for the vision board, I would encourage you guys to set a date in January for a team event and just to do one. Just do it. And maybe it's after one of the boot camp, or the virtual regionals that we have set. Put some time in there, an extra hour. You've already got the day set aside and you're going to be together anyway. There's one at the beginning of the month that is from a really much bigger team, like Jeff Roberti. He's the top earner in the company. He's going to be speaking at it. And there's a lot of heavy hitter distributors that are just doing amazing things. They're going to be doing that one January 8th. And then we have the one for the New Mexico team. I believe that's January 20th. That's a Saturday as well. And those are both days that you could easily work in a vision board exercise for an hour. If you already have your word and you've already gone through these papers, it's going to be really easy to do a dream board. You could easily do that, or a vision board, in an hour, easily. If you have not put any legwork behind it, you're going to be like, I don't know what to put on here. And you just kind of mindlessly flip through the magazines and you see something, oh, that's a pretty sunset. Okay, I'll put that. And it is not going to have the same impact that if you will take the time, fill out these papers, and really be intentional about putting focused attention and finding what your those dreams and those goals are for this year. So that's what I had today. I think that's the end of my slides. Yep. So I'm going to just bring it back to our screen with all of us and open it up to anyone else. Have I missed anything? Do you guys have anything that you want to add to it? Anything that you wanted to share? And we could be done in an hour. Woohoo! And then I want you guys to take that hour that you already have set aside. Your family's already somewhere else. They think you're going to be on for 2 hours. So what do you have to do for the next hour? Print these out and fill them out. Take the time to do it. You've already set the time aside for this morning. So don't think I wasn't purposeful on that with that too. But okay, open it up to anyone else. Does anyone else want to share that didn't earlier?
Okay, I'll share.
Okay, Miss Gwen.
Okay, so when I joined 3 years ago, I didn't know what I wanted, right, for a business part. So now I'm a certified health coach. I passed my test.
Yay!
Years prime time, that starts next month. And then in August, I'm going to do Dr. Terry Walls, and I'm going to try to get her certified health coach. So that'll be an autoimmune thing. So now I found a career. Okay, who knew, right? I knew I needed to get money to bring my husband home, but now I'm getting a career. So I really love it.
And how many people you're going to be able to impact? Like, we already send people to you with that extra training that you get from her. Like, right. You're going to be such a specialized health coach. Like, we're going to be sending people your way all the time.
Yeah, well, autoimmune is my thing.
Yes.
And everywhere. So I'm excited to learn more about it.
That's a huge purpose.
I already passed it on to my chiropractor. He's like, I'll send you people. I'm like, okay.
Yes, the impact is going to be huge. That's awesome, Gwen.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
I gotta find my word.
Yeah. Well, you can.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Okay.
Anyone else already know what their word's going to be?
It's Stacy. It's Sharon.
Hey, Sharon.
Hey, my tape is covering. It's really sticky. It's covering my camera, my webcam. Sorry.
No problem.
It'd be the devil to try to get it off. I put the wrong kind of tape there. Anyway, I know you can't see me, but anyways, my word almost automatically came to me when you were talking. And do you want me to share it?
Sure.
It's change.
Okay.
And I just think that's key for me because I keep having these intentions, but the intentions haven't been changing anything.
Right.
So, I have all these, and I'm a huge dreamer. But I struggle to implement these things. And I think that making change is going to be the big thing for me.
Yeah, that word, you'll find it just, it sticks in your head, and then it really shapes the activity that you choose to do. If I do this, is it going to bring about change, or is it going to keep me doing the same thing? And then you're like, oh, okay, I want change. Then I've got to, okay, this is going to help me towards change. Or you know what, that really isn't. It's kind of the same thing I've always done. How can I change that activity? And you'll find that word encompasses a lot of different things. And that, sometimes the word can come that fast. It doesn't have to be deep reflection on the interstate. It can, it can come to you quicker. So thank you, Sharon, for sharing that with us. Miss Mallory, you've been awfully quiet. I know there's things going through your mind. Anything you want to share?
I'm just, I think I love this vision thing a lot. And I'm setting up a war room right in front of my my lovely desk area here. But I really am, there's a lot of intention. And I think the word I was thinking about when I was looking at your sheets, I'm just very pensive right now, or pensive. I think I'm thinking brave is my word, and kind of Wonder Woman-ish. And it's like, I'm just going to keep moving, as you said, forward, but there's got to be some bravery in it for me, I think. I don't know where that may or may not be it, but I think I'm really enjoying this idea of, I just printed out the 7 steps thing. We even got our color printer going here. And then I just got the why thing. And so I'm going to go find that book in my garage. I don't know where it is. But I love looking forward. And I think that's where we all can really benefit. And I love your inspiring me and us to really dig down. So that's what's going on in my mind. And, I have my goals right up here on my board, and I'm real clear about what it's going to look like and what I want. I'm imagining it.
Yeah.
I'm imagining what I will be doing. And that's huge, is to have that mind opening, that clarity. And I'm just excited for this whole team. And it's cool watching you too, Stace. I was just thinking about this because you moved back and forth from New Mexico, and you've just really kept it, like, you're a real inspiration. You're like, you're driving this bus with all of us on it. And we're having a good time. So anyways, I just am so appreciative of you and to you.
Oh, well, thank you, Mallory. You guys mean the world to me, and I'll drive this bus anywhere. Just tell us where we want to go. I'll drive. Well, thank you. Anyone else want to share before we get off?
Stacey, I was going to share my word because I'm a word girl, so I've been thinking about this. I feel like my word is awaken, and it's, when you look at the definition, it's like evoke, arouse from sleep, and so you're like, wow, have I been sleepwalking? And literally, I think that sometimes when you operate out of a fearful place, and you don't embrace those opportunities, just some notes I was writing was just an awareness of the experiences and opportunities that are before us, and even the success. You get to a certain level in life, and you're like, well, I feel successful in these areas, but I don't ever want to stop being a student, where you continue to just learn. So I feel like for the new year, for me, just an awakening. And so you've challenged me to look in different areas of my life, and what do I really want that to look like? Do I really want to get to Q? Am I willing to put the work into that? What different things am I willing to do? And so not to shy away from people, success, experiences, or opportunities.
That's
so I'm telling you, because it feels right, and I've had several confirmations about that word.
That's a good one. That's excellent. Well, thank you, Joni, for sharing that. Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No,
I just wanted to clarify what the book name and author was again, one more time.
Okay, it's One Word That Will Change Your Life, and it's 2 different authors. I think one of them is Andy, but I don't have the title of it. I don't have the book. I can't find it right in front of me. Well, let me see. I'll look on my Audible. and see what it says. Okay, Dan Britton, DanBritton. Oh yeah, there's no Andy. I don't know where I came up with that one. John Gordon is the other author, Jon Gordon. One word that will change your life. So, like I said, you can get it in Audible. So that's what I've been listening to on Audible, but you can also buy the book. And I think even the bookstore there in Farmington would have it, or Amazon will get it to you in 2 days. That works too.
Okay, thanks, Stacy.
Yes. And it's fast. It's not, like I said, it's not a laborious read that's going to take you forever. It's really fast. And it's kind of like you read a chapter and it has things to do, and then you do those things, and they really walk you through finding your word. So, okay, here's my last call to action. Once you guys have that word and you're solidified, think of it over this weekend, but when you know and you have it and you for sure, okay, this is my word, I want you to send it to me. Send me a Voxer, or we can get on the call and discuss it. I would love to. I've got some time next week. I'm really wide open. Let's talk on the phone, talk it through. What's that going to look like? What do you want to do with it? And as soon as I get my kit, then I will make you either the necklace or bracelet, and that will be my Christmas gift to you. So I should get that next, it's probably not going to get to me till Thursday, but I'll commit to getting that out to you by the end of the year. By the end of the year, before the new year, I'll get you your token with your word on it. So I'm excited about that. I love crafting anyway, so this gives me something to make. All right. Well, I will let you ladies go. Thank you for investing in yourself this morning. Thank you for trusting me with your Saturday morning, and for many of you getting up early and being focused enough to pay attention. I'm really impressed. So I love you guys so much, so very much, and have a fabulous next couple weeks with your family. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you, Stacy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Merry Christmas.
Stacy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.